A group of therapists who are involved in terms of addressing needs like work, like activity of daily living and leisure are known as occupational therapists. So in this particular webinar, we are addressing activities of daily living. Now the activities of daily living, if you see, it starts right from the morning. For example, as you wake up, brushing is the first activity which needs to be done. There are a group of children and adults, and we have this bell-shaped curve, right? 70% in between, 70% this side, having some extraordinary skills, and 70% this side, having skills which are not at par to the so-called normal, and of course extraordinary would be good. Similarly, certain skills, may it be motor control for brushing, may be affected, may it be the cognitive processing required to execute the activity may be affected, may it be the sensory integration capabilities which are required to do the activity may be affected. So multiple number of things may be affected out. So there are a group of children, the 15% this side, the so-called children with disabilities, who may be having multiple issues in terms of executing the activity. Children or adult persons with disabilities. If you see the RPWD Act 2018, then the RPWD Act has these 21 kinds of disabilities, and it is grouped out under 5 major headings. The first heading is physical disability. In physical disabilities, the challenges would be faced primarily by the group of people who are grouped under locomotor disabilities. For example, a child with cerebral palsy, or a child with muscular dystrophy, or an adult who is leprosy cured would be having challenges. I'll take the example of brushing. Would be having challenges. A child with cerebral palsy would be having difficulty in having adequate amount of grasp or adequate amount of motor control. So the occupational therapist would be the right kind of person who would be helping to design out a particular splint which can be used for the purpose of brushing. Similarly, coordination may be an issue for many people with cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy, and the adaptive devices which are required to have brushing coordinated out well are prescribed by an occupational therapist. So a occupational therapist would be knowing out what is the right kind of adaptive device which can be given, the right kind of adaptation in the environment. And it may be a simple thing, like a child with cerebral palsy may not be capable of standing up and brushing out. So he may be adjusting out the mirror, using out a stool, giving him a adapted brush which can be used. And the child with cerebral palsy or the adult with who's leprosy cured or a adult with muscular dystrophy would be much more comfortable in terms of executing it. This is how physical disabilities are addressed out. The second type of disability which would be having challenges in terms of brushing, let's say, would be intellectual disabilities which has specific learning disability and autism spectrum under it. We very much know that children with autism spectrum disorder would be having sensory issues. They may be hypersensitive, means the brush goes inside, they will be chewing it and doing it for 1 hour together. Or they may be hypersensitive. The brush initiates a gag, or the brush cannot be tolerated by the child inside the mouth. So an occupational therapist would be addressing out these sensory issues. Hyposensitive or hypersensitive. If hyposensitive, that means he loves to brush it, keeps brushing for hours together. The occupational therapist usually provides out a time schedule, gives some ideas into the rote memory. For example, maybe asking 5 times this side, 5 times this side, 5 times up and down, 5 times this side up and down. So always empowers out the child who is hyposensitive to do brushing in a way for a scheduled time. Same for hypersensitive. The child may be requiring out certain sensory stimulation, may it be gums, may it be cheek, may it be different parts of the body. For children with intellectual disabilities, this particular activity can be done in role play. the mother can be involved out. And the exact stages of the role play are actually explained out best by the occupational therapist. So, an occupational therapist is the right kind of person of doing it. The next condition, if you see, disability is caused due to chronic neurological conditions or blood disorders. Both of these types of disorders would be having disabilities which requires maintenance of the present status and strength. So it is very essential that a set of modifications are done for people having multiple sclerosis, for people having Parkinson's disease, or people having blood disorders like hemophilia, thalassemia, sickle cell disease, who have the issue of stamina. That timing part is decided by the occupational therapist. For example, a person with Parkinson's disease or any form of dementia would be forgetful of things. So, an occupational therapist puts up a calendar of activities. He labels out things around so that the person is not forgetting things. A person who is having these tremors in hand, the occupational therapist may give a weighted cuff so that the stability is there. He may be giving in some alarming systems also. In blood disorders, energy conservation and joint protection, stamina is the issue. So a simple modification like having the mirror a bit down, giving a stool, asking the person to sit on it so that he need not mobilize his entire set of joints, keep bending out for brushing, rather can sit down. So the joint protection is addressed too. You don't need to move out so many number of joints. You need not get tired.